It's time now to review headlines from today's newspapers, and I'll be handing over to Steve, and he'll be starting with...
This day, as always, thank you, Adefemi.
You're welcome.
The lead story in today's This Day says Abdullahi Adamu, no decision yet on zoning of APC's presidential ticket. This is what we said earlier and we discussed with Senator Magnus Abe. But the riders are interesting. Says no regret over 100 million presidential forms aimed at hindering unserious aspirants and moles. Party presidential aspirants lending to 13. Fahimi joins race, 5 peak forms. PDP screens Atiku, Obi, Saraki, 14 others. Disqualifies Nwachukwu, Anakwenze, and Cosmas Ndukwe. That's for PDP. You know that Cosmas Ndukwe, of course, maybe not surprising because he took the party to court over zoning. The party has not formally mentioned their names, but this day, of course, has revealed it, and we will see in the coming days how interesting this development will be.
I'm still uncomfortable with the term unserious, and that because of this 100 million naira fee.
I know what you mean.
Even last week when we were discussing with, I believe it was, is it Senator Pella? Is he a member?
Yes.
No, he's a member of the House, I believe. Or I can't remember. But we had Sheena Pella on the show
on Sunday last week. Yeah.
Yes, and we were talking about obviously the cost of the presidential form, and that's the APC women's leader said that she was naturally behind the cost of it, and she said that if you can't afford 100 million naira, then you shouldn't be vying for the presidency, which I still believe is problematic.
Yes,
and I still I dislike the rhetoric behind money being the qualifier of your preparedness. That makes you serious. Yeah.
You're right. It's debatable, but of course, queuing behind you is what makes that rather insensitive is the fact that the forms are free for women, but then we have not seen the unserious women who are coming up to say that, because the form is free, I want to be president of Nigeria. That won't make any sense. And who is the unserious Nigerian anyway that cannot come forward to say that I would like to be the president? Let the populace judge, not the party.
Exactly.
If it's a member of your party, is APC saying that they've got unserious members who pay their dues to the party?
And we can find the unserious ones because they're the ones who didn't pick form. Isn't that what you're saying?
Because what's the seriousness? Just like you said, Sheena Pella also mentioned it the other time, and Senator Magnus Abe mentioned it. People contribute for you to purchase the form. It's not as if you go to a bank. Of course, we may not have to, this thing is debatable. But then people contribute. That's the whole point of politics. You are able to, curry favors and ask people to support your aspiration.
Yes.
And people on a daily basis, ordinary people are supporting aspiration. So I think it's something that they need to watch, discontinue this insensitive excuse of, weeding out on serious candidates. On top of the lead story, let's proceed, is the story that, of course, is complemented by the cover picture. President backs ultra-modern Royal Museum at Oba of Benin's Palace. Germany to return 1,130 looted Benin bronzes to Nigeria. And, of course, the cover picture, Oba of Benin at the Villa. And we have the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, the President himself, Muhammadu Buhari. The Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty, Omonoba Ukwakpolokpolo Ewuare II, Prince Erediowa, and the Chairman, Editor-in-Chief of these days newspapers, Arise News, Prince Nduka Obagbina, were members of the Benin Traditional Council led by the Oba Ewuare II, visited Buhari. And I like the fact that the President says that, the Benin Royal Museum is a good idea. It's a brilliant idea. I had the privilege of being at the British Museum in 2019, February, with the current governor of Edo State.
Yes.
Where Lagos State and Edo State were in talks with the British Museum about the need to return some of the artifacts. So I know that Governor Obaseki is committed to this cause. What is important, however, is that the rift between his office and the palace, should be worked on. Because this is a brilliant idea. A royal museum it's not just something that you tuck away in the palace. It is somewhere that people will come from all over the world to see royal art, for which Benin, is well known. And I think that this is a brilliant opportunity. If the president is saying that, I believe in this cause, what is left is for the office of the governor, because, it's about the office. It's not about the individual, and the palace to work together, exactly. It's about our heritage at night. And one more thing that is important is the remarkable attention that the This Day Group and the Arise Media Group, have given, to covering this development, since last year. It's been brilliant. I mean, no other news organization that I know has devoted so much attention, to this sort of a development. Arts, culture, our heritage, our own essence, on the front burner. So kudos to the chairman and the organization.
Absolutely, we're in good hands.
Absolutely. On top of the masthead, Ukraine-Russia war. Guterres to visit Nigeria, 2 other West African countries. That's on the page 14 of the paper.
I mean, that's going to be quite interesting.
It will be.
He will be touring, as you said, West African countries. So from the 30th today, he should be arriving in Senegal.
30th April,
Yes. Should be arriving in Senegal and then moving on to Niger and be leaving Niger on the 3rd of May and then making his way to Nigeria, where he'll be on the 3rd and 4th of May. So next week he should be in Nigeria, most probably in Abuja with the president, but it would be interesting to see if the political pope, as they call him, what he has to say about, of course, the ramification of the Ukraine-Russia war, but also the state of security within Nigeria as well.
Absolutely, you're right. Last but not the least, on the cover of this day, 68 abducted train passengers spend day 34 in the dungeon of terrorists. Freedom still not in sight. Families frustrated. That's a sad one, day 34. Not good at all. Authorities will have to sit on top of it. We've got 2 more minutes or thereabouts. Shall we quickly look at the cover of The Guardian?
Yes, if we fight through The Guardian. They're talking about ASU strike, which is kind of loosely links to what we spoke to with Mr. Onyeka earlier on today. So ASU strike, students, parents are bashing the federal government and politicians, and you cannot blame them because it is a frustrating situation there. You can read more on that in the second page.
You can blame them if you link that to the purchase of the APC presidential form by the Minister for State for Education, Wajuba. People are saying, how dare you at a time, how many months down that people, students are still, at home, and then you are seeking to be the president of Nigeria. Of course, there are other apologies who are saying that, he's not directly in charge, and this is about labor negotiating with ASU, but it doesn't sound right, at all. But then we'll see how that goes.
Very quickly, gender advocates are divided over Aisha Buhari's call for female deputies. There's that. You can read more on that. Let's not spend too much time on that on page 3. The picture headline story, you've got members of the Nigerian entertainment industry. You've got Yabo Ojo on the left in orange there. You've got Bolanle in green, or Lukani. And then, is that Two-Face?
That's Two-Face. I was actually there yesterday.
Why are you?
That is NEC Live Nigerian Entertainment Conference. It was the 9th edition, by this gentleman in the middle, Ayeno Adekunle, brilliant journalist and PR expert who is expanding, all over the world, doing great things. And Arise did cover it. I saw Shaitan Atigari, doing wonderfully well, at that thing with our team, So it was the 9th edition yesterday, and as always, it was dope, Great stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, 30 seconds on the cover to look at the cover of the Punch, Saturday Punch, and the lead here says INEC plans membership verification may disqualify parties with the Punch, Saturday Punch, may disqualify parties with doctored registers. Isn't it interesting? And then before we go, isn't it an interesting story? Family, colleagues, fans divided over Yul Edochie's second wife. I mean, this thing has been trending.
Yes.
What is the news about this, second wife, second wife?
So allegedly, according to the streets, we are serious journalists, so we don't have our ear to the gutter. Not saying that these people belong there, but it was it did dominate lots of social media talk over the weekend.
I read something about, like a light-hearted thing, that if anybody asks you about this Yul Edochie thing, just say, Nadem Sabi. It's their business.
It is their
business.
Don't
know what they're doing there. But
exactly that.
It looks like that's about all that we're able to take
it is.
from the covers of newspapers for today.